And to see that this child is still lacking infant development is horrible. And apparently he's still drinking out of a bottle. But to know that this child cannot even sit up or walk on his own without any support is just terrible. We watched her in real time destroy this child while she was pregnant. The drinking, the smoking, the fighting, constant drama. For this to be your first child, your first pregnancy, and that's what you do to your baby. The type of destruction and disability she brought upon this baby is something he has to live with for the rest of his life.
Bro, like, aren't you scared of nobody? You can say whatever. You can say whatever. For real, you can say whatever. You got something to say, I'm gonna say it. Feel me? Like, you can say whatever. But I'm telling y'all, it's about to get real serious. And I think if I put this PSA out, is he gonna try to act like I ain't say this?
It seems that Chrisean Rock is now experiencing an unwelcome taste of humble pie, since she recently admitted that the things that people have been observing about Chrisean Jr. are true. Chrisean refuses to admit that she might be involved, despite the fact that she ought to have addressed his health problems from the beginning and now needs help due with her son's current challenges, as there are allegations that she is struggling with guilt and has sought solace and help from the church, in the hopes that things would get better and that her kid will be able to connect with his siblings and have a real family. She has also been talking to Blueface's mother, Clarissa, about her co-baby mama, Jaden Alexis.
The doctor or whatever medical professionals at the time of his birth, they had stated that he would need medical treatment like surgery, steroid injections, etc. in order for him to start developing properly. For me, on the outside looking in, I seen that baby when he was born and I see him now, and his health has not been addressed in the best manner.
The most diplomatic method, the absurdity of it all, is that, in spite of pleas from supporters for her to focus on what is directly in front of her, Chrisean has been rejecting for months that her son could require assistance. According to several of her friends and people familiar with the circumstances who have seen Chrisean Jr., he isn't meeting those benchmarks as he ought to. They couldn't resist comparing him to Hallow, a nearly 2-year-old who has become everyone's favorite online nephew because of his adorable little personality. On Instagram, people saw Chrisean give birth live, and her baby was always present or close by. His poor head movement and hand-eye coordination were noticed at the moment, but it was his tears during Chrisean's live defense of her Blueface tattoo that really had people talking. It sounded like a dying cat's cries. Concerned admirers began calling her when she learned, encouraging her to take her kid to the doctor immediately. Chrisean, however, mostly ignored the remarks, acting as though they were hate speech meant to ruin her happiness as a new mother, insisting that there was nothing wrong with her son and that others were just projecting things onto him. She kept sharing footage of herself and our baby.
Y'all don't know nothing about God. Y'all don't know nothing about nothing. You talking to me like that. So I rebuke everything y'all saying about my child, to be honest. But I like this shit, bro. You know why? Because all the glory to God, bro. Like, that could be looking real stupid.
However, because Chrisean had a history of going out and binge drinking while pregnant, no one was letting up on her. 5 months after her doctor told her that she was too far along to terminate the pregnancy, she reportedly broke down in tears and went for an ultrasound.
That's the face, that's the lower lip, upper lip.
Whoa.
You are 20 weeks pregnant.
Was it too late?
Yeah, it's too late.
I'm not talking to you.
That wasn't all, as online medical experts discovered that Chrisean had most of the physical traits associated with fetal alcohol syndrome after fans started looking more closely at his movies. Fetal alcohol syndrome manifested itself in Chrisean's son's small, corner-folded eyes, extra-large, low-set ears, and flat mid-face. These recordings may have captured the high-pitched cries of newborns experiencing alcohol withdrawal. Others have also pointed out that in pictures of him, his pupils seem white instead of red, which could be a sign of a visual impairment. Until Chrisean placed it directly in front of him so he couldn't miss it, explain why he hadn't been grabbing for food or anything else that was placed in front of him. We had never seen him walk, talk, hold a spoon, laugh, or do anything else that should be within the capabilities of a 1-year-old banging on 2's door. As the backlash grew, Crone claimed that by gradually removing her kid from the internet, she was just protecting his privacy. This is one of the rare occasions that people have had the chance to view him in that manner, though, as Crotch has been going to church more regularly since then and is bringing her son along. Fans quickly noted that not much has changed in spite of this. Although she won't be the first or last to have a child with special needs, what worries people the most is that she may have contributed to it by acting in a particular manner when she was pregnant, and now she's waiting for a miracle to alter these things. All of the bullshit about her wanting to give Crone Jr. some peace was a ruse to get people to avoid her and relieve her of guilt because Crone Jr. has changed since we last saw him. Remember that in a few months he will turn 2.
Are we all in agreement now that it's a lot of things that this baby is going to be suffering from or hindered doing because of the shit Chrisean was doing while she was pregnant? Drinking, smoking, partying. And to be quite honest with y'all, I think what make it worse and what make everybody more mad at Chrisean is the fact that, one, she still denies it. Not just leave it alone. She denies that she did anything wrong while pregnant. On top of, it doesn't seem like seeking any help for this baby.
It is likely that Crone realized she'd handled things badly since she came back and tried to provide him the care and assistance he needed for a longer period of time. Chrisean had a falling out with both Blueface's other child, Jaden Alexis, and Blueface's mother, Clarissa. Mama knows she needs a whole community and support structure to assist in raising her child because Chrisean became pregnant when Jaden and Blueface were still dating. She's therefore begging them to put aside their differences in order to allow their son to have his family.
Carlissa, I'm sorry, Jaden, I'm sorry, who else? I apologize to that whole side of people. I'm just sorry, because I really care about my son, bro. And I know he'll be thriving better with his siblings, too. And Carlissa, you got me blocked on Instagram, so I can't follow you, but girl, you could come get your grandson for when he come home in August. So he'll have all his kids there. I literally want to take myself out of the situation and then just receive whatever God has in store and what purpose he has for this whole thing to work out.
Even after all of her efforts to set things right for Crone Jr., some still argue that she should take responsibility for her errors rather than continue to act as though she was inexperienced. She doesn't care about the child, as evidenced by her hospital stay, the way she bent the baby's back, and the fact that she missed his surgery. I wish Chrisean Rock's son would visit double hockey sticks like he did yesterday every time I see him. The rage. Do you believe Cash will ever own up to her mistakes throughout her pregnancy? Since there will be more videos in the future, don't forget to like and subscribe. You may also feel free to leave a comment below. I'll see you in the next one. She endures a lot of pain behind closed doors and I think realizes that she bears too much of the blame for his shortcomings, but she chooses to ignore the fact that she is to blame. Berries.